You ready to get this thing rolling? Do you have a historical fact?
I do, dude. I'm prepared today. I am all the way
Oh,
prepared.
man. That gets me excited. You ready to roll?
Let's make it happen, Captain.
All righty. Hey, welcome into the Mind of a Coach podcast, episode 26. We have eclipsed the quarter century, moving on to, half a century, I guess.
Bigger and better things, I guess. Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Hey, so how you doing?
I'm good, dude. I'm good, man. I'm alive and kicking. Season's over with, obviously. Had our last game this past Saturday. Season wasn't the best season. Didn't get a lot of wins, but man, it was good that it happened. Always a blessing to be able to play. No matter how the season ends, it's always back to the drawing board and on to the next one. So preparing for next year. But Nate, so I was sitting, not a lot going on, sitting around chilling in the office and thinking to myself, started talking to myself. I said, you know what, Self, you need to go out to the driving range. And
I saw you wearing the hat, and I was hoping you weren't going to say anything, and I was going to get to ask you first.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I removed myself from the office, and I went out to the driving range. Beautiful day here in Nashville, not a cloud in the sky. And Nate, your boy is going to be a problem on the links this year.
Oh,
I got new irons for Christmas. Okay, got to swing them for the first time today. Think about this. I wasn't playing with a 6 or a 9 iron last summer.
Oh no.
So I got a 6 and a 9. It is it's going to be something. Ace Bogey is coming back in full force. How you doing?
Ace Bogey. I love it. I've always called you Ace Boogie, but that's funny.
It's Boogie during basketball season. It's Bogey during the off season.
That's funny, man. Well, good stuff.
Yo, y'all got a lot going on down in Cleveland.
Something like that, man. So we got our we ended up finishing second in the regular season. Coach Smith, head coach at Lee University, my boss, won Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
on our side.
Congratulations, Coach Smith.
Yeah, that's big time. And one of our players won Player of the Year on our side, which is big for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for him. But besides that, won our first round game. Well, shoot, I guess a lot's happened since then. This past Saturday, we hit a buzzer or a shot, a 3 with like 7 seconds, down 4 with 40 seconds left in the game, and ended up winning by 1 in regulation. And then first round of the tournament we had on Tuesday, quick turnaround against West Al. And we won that game by 3. So tough, close games, but it's in March. So any way you can win some games is you just gotta be happy with them. So
yeah, man. What is it? It's Wednesday right now. What's the rest of the week look like for y'all? Y'all got a game tomorrow night on Thursday.
So when this podcast releases, it'll be Friday, and we will be taking on the Alabama Huntsville Fighting Coach A-Cuffs.
Oh man. Well, hey, best of luck to you. Are they pretty good?
Yeah, I mean they're a good team.
That's not the semis, right?
It is the semis.
Okay, gotcha.
So win that game, then we have the championship on Sunday. So it's a quick turnaround. So just one game at a time. It's tournament basketball.
Yeah.
And anything can happen, but honestly, I feel really good about our guys. I think if we're playing well, it's tough for other teams to beat us. So
hey, man, when y'all pull out games like y'all been doing as of late, especially like you said in this time of the year, there's something to be said about that. So
well,
man,
here's another thing. So usually when you play a team and they get hot, it's easy to fold. And when we were playing AUM the last game of the regular season, Asa, they had a kid go 8 for 10 from 3. And when I'd say 8 for 10 from 3, it wasn't like he was coming off screens. He was ISO, and it was just, I'm all up in you, and then just elevate so high and release it. 8 for 10, 36 points, and we were still able to squeak out a win. So, I mean, that's some grit right there.
That is, man. That is. Shout out to y'all for real. Y'all are playing some great basketball right now.
I appreciate it. Guys got it going. So hopefully can continue that on for, however many more games, 7, 8, 9, whatever. We got to win in a row to take home the big crown. But
all right, hey, so we got the dunk contest coming up this weekend. I got a little historical fact, or really, this is basically turning into some trivia. We know that. Whatever, we're gonna just pretty much quiz each other. So
line trivia.
Yeah, that'll be a little common theme coming up in the next couple minutes. But so Nathan, as the dunk contest as we know it. I'll tell you the year. It was 1984 is when it was. Do you know who won it and who this person defeated? Oh, got to pull up your phone, huh?
I'm writing. I don't know, man. Spud Webb.
No, he was the I think he was the third. He was the third.
He was the what?
I think he won the third dunk contest.
Wait, so this is the first dunk contest.
This is the first slam dunk contest, yes. As we know it. Like they did it before 1984. There was like a year-long thing, and then they had one in the ABA, but I'm talking like the dunk contest now as we know it. The first one was 1984. Who won and who?
Is it Dawkins?
No.
MJ? I don't know when he got to the league. When did he get to the league? Like 86?
He was 83. I'm pretty sure
83?
MJ was drafted in 83. It was 80. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 83.
Dawkins played on the Hawks,
84,
right?
I think. Or 80. No, it was 83. Dawkins, Daryl Dawkins, or are you talking about you talking about Dominique Wilkins?
That's who I'm trying to think of.
No, it wasn't Dominique Wilkins.
How many more guesses?
Okay, his son is playing in the league, and he played on a team that you have a connection to. He played with LeBron for a little bit. His son did. Think of
hold up. Just give me a second. Played with LeBron. Is he still in the league?
His son is, yeah. The son is still in the league.
And he played for LeBron a little bit.
He played. His son played. Is
it Love?
LeBron. No. His son played with LeBron for a little bit.
On the Cavs. Jefferson, Fry, Thompson.
Think of the Larry Nance.
Irving.
Larry Nance.
Oh my gosh.
Larry Nance.
That was the worst one we've had right there. That was the worst.
In 1984, Larry Nance won the first slam dunk contest, and he beat none other than Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Wow.
And you struggled a little bit with that one, dog.
It wasn't even close, to be honest with you. It wasn't even like I was putting good guesses out there. I was just, the time frame, the 84 season I missed, unfortunately, by 11 years. So I guess that just wasn't – I didn't get that one.
I wouldn't have gotten Larry Nance. I wouldn't have gotten that. I would have thrown out Dr. J, but I wouldn't have gotten Larry Nance.
Larry Nance. Well, how about that for anybody that didn't know? So anybody like me? Larry Nance. Asa, man, you got a pocket tee on today. Rip it off. Get it off your chest.
Okay, Nathan, I'm going to do one of your and everybody else's favorite things and start this off with a rap lyric from one of the great modern-day poets, Nashville's very own Jermaine Shute, a.k.a. Starlito. He said, this is from a song in 2011. He said, Kobe, you got the last two. You got LeBron stressed. That's karma, King James. Should have did the dunk contest. Nate, I am never forgiving LeBron for not doing the dunk contest. Everybody's always worried about what LeBron says about different issues, and they get all upset about that. It's the dunk contest that we need to be worried about, Nate. It's inexcusable. I will never forgive him for it. There's no reason that he hasn't. It doesn't sit well with me, okay? And it's just it makes no sense. And then every time around the All-Star break, we get some video of him doing some crazy dunks in practice or something. But he's never done the dunk contest. I can't forgive him for it. Everybody, honestly, it bothers me more than the Mavs series in 2011. LeBron not doing the dunk contest bothers me more than the Mavs series in 2011. The meltdown. I'm so serious, dude. It's inexcusable.
I completely agree. I don't see why. Like, it's not going to be that much wear and tear on your body, LeBron, to do 6 dunks in total or whatever you have to do.
And as much as he always talks about, putting on for the fans and playing for the fans, give us the stupid dunk contest, LeBron.
I think I don't think he can do it anymore. I don't think. Hey, if you give me LeBron James right now doing a dunk contest with Zach LaVine, it's not close.
Zach LaVine's a different animal. Yeah, I think LeBron could still win it if he wanted to. But if he, I don't. You're right. There are some crazy jumpers.
Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon,
you're right.
I think that was the best dunk contest of all time.
Yeah,
we were like being brought up during the Nate Robinson, Dwight Howard when we thought that was awesome, but that was just because of the spectacle. But the best dunks were Aaron Gordon and Zach.
Yeah,
LaVine.
It upsets me, man. I mean, I think about it daily. Almost.
You- I think about it daily. That's awesome.
Oh,
That's awesome. Well,
man.
I hate to hear it. It's not awesome. I'm sorry for
Yeah,
you.
I mean, golly.
Get some rest for sure.
I know. I need to calm down a little bit.
But anyway, Asa, my 3 keys, I am going to save them for our guest. Please enjoy. Oh yeah. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Man, hey, you guys got it rolling right now, huh?
Playing pretty well lately. Hopefully we can play well a couple more times.
Hey, all you got to have is 2, right? Knoxville Catholic next.
Yes, sir. Knoxville Catholic. They're a really good team. They can score the basketball in a lot of different ways. So it'll be a good challenge. But we pride ourselves on our defense. So it'll be a good matchup for us.
Is that game on? Is that game on Thursday or Friday?
We play Friday at 1:30.
Friday at 1:30.
And then hopefully Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
Wow. Wow. I mean, heck of year 1, coach. Heck of a year 1.
Appreciate that, man. It's been fun. It's been different. It's a weird time to be new somewhere with all the protocols and everything, but can't ask for a better team and coaching staff to work with this first year.
But coach, thank you for coming on. Coach McLeod graduated actually from Lee University.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
2005.
2005. You earned a master's in education from Cumberland University. Were you a GA there?
Yeah, I was a GA for 1 year, and then I was a full-time assistant for 2 years after that.
Gotcha. And then did you go to Ravenwood?
Yeah, I coached at Ravenwood, and then that's where my wife teaches at, so I was coaching over there.
Okay. And then from there, did you go straight to GCA?
Yep, Ravenwood to GCA, and now at Father Ryan starting this year.
That's awesome. Awesome. And you won 2 district championships at GCA as well. And then you guys moved up. You guys did pretty well. And then you made the switch over to Father Ryan.
Yeah, we played my last year at GCA. We went to Division II for the first time with the likes of, CPA, Webb, and all those schools, MTCS, BGA. It was a great adjustment. That was a great league to coach in, and so is the one that I'm in now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no nights off.
No, I hear you. I hear you. So you tell me a little bit about Upward Stars, because people out there that don't know, you've been coaching for Upward Stars for a number of years now. Just walk me through a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I've been with Upward Stars, which now Stars Basketball Club. This is my 6th year, I believe.
Okay.
I started around 2015. I met Lance Ackridge, a friend of both of ours.
He's the best.
For some tacos one day, actually.
Oh,
right.
Really?
We met over some tacos in Nolensville, and just the mission and journey that he presented was something I really believed in. And Lance, there's not a better guy around. We have a couple mutual friends that we could say that about, Len McNatt as well. They're just not better people around, people that you want to work with. So I've been doing that. I'm the director of girls teams. The last couple of years, I've coached 2 teams, which has been kind of taxing.
Wow.
But it is worth it. I enjoy it. I do it for the kids, and it's just fun. And I believe in the mission of Stars Basketball Club and everything that it represents.
So what made you get into coaching basketball?
Honestly, I always wanted to kind of do it, but never knew that I actually would do it. And my last year at Lee, I practiced with the girls team, and Marty Rowe, who's still there coaching the girls now.
Yeah, he's awesome. Coach Rowe.
And, Coach Rowe. And then Coach Spangler was a player then. She was Coach Dotson.
Really?
She played on the team when I was there, so I practiced with them. But Coach Rowe really helped me. He got me into it, honestly, just being around him every day and seeing how he did things and how he treated people. He showed me another side of coaching that I hadn't really seen before growing up. And I thought that the way he did things was just the way he did it. I mean, you're around him all the time. You know what kind of guy he is and how he does things.
Yeah,
so
he's awesome.
Being around him kind of gave me the itch. And as soon as I graduated, he made a call to Coach Mason at Cumberland. And I flew in for the interview. And, I mean, before I landed, I got the job offer. And I know that Coach Rowe had a lot to do with that. So I'm always thankful for him. Anytime I get to see him or talk to him, I'm just grateful for what he's done for me.
Yeah. That's
what's
awesome.
What's the biggest difference in kind of coaching, working with a program like Stars, and then having a transition pivot to coaching a school like Father Ryan? What's some differences between those?
That's a good question. I think that the pressure of the high school is a little bit higher as far as having to win. I don't coach like you. Obviously, you want to win being a competitor, but to me, there's a lot more to coaching than just your record. It's the impact you can have on these kids and relationships you build with them. But there's pressure from the outside to win in high school, whereas in travel, you're really trying to help these kids get seen. We go to Indiana, Louisville, Atlanta, things like that. And there's a lot of paperwork involved with that. We're emailing college coaches. We're calling college coaches. we're making sure they got our schedule, making sure they got our roster. We're asking our kids, give us your top 5 or 10 schools, or what level are you looking at? How many hours away are you open to going? So there's a lot more off the court stuff involved with the stars. But then when you get to the high school, there's the scouting, the pressure of winning, which, it's something that I enjoy though. But that's the main difference, I would say, in the two.
What made you decide that you wanted to go from college to high school?
Well, I took a few years off of coaching so I went to Lee thinking my parents lived in Cincinnati at the time when I went to Lee. And I'm 5 hours away.
What part of Cincinnati? Sorry, I had to ask. What part of Cincinnati?
Do you know where Kings Island is?
Sort of.
I went to Kings High School right next to it, about 20 miles north of the
city. I lived in Price Hill for a little bit. I was at Cincinnati Christian for a little while.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. I hate that school shut down, man.
I know, man. I was there.
He was there when it did.
I was there.
Were you with Josh Lester and Coach Cox?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I was out. Yep.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So I grew up there, and I was 5 hours away. I had a little brother that I thought I could get back and see if I needed to, or if I needed something. I was 5 hours is far, but not too far. Well, my first year of college, they moved to Texas. So,
oh my goodness,
they were about 12 and a half hours away. So after a few years at Cumberland, I just hadn't been around much. And I moved out there for a couple of years, and then just missed coaching like crazy. And an opportunity opened itself back here in Nashville. So I moved back and got into it.
Wow.
What year were you at Cumberland?
05, 06, and 07. I was at Cumberland. So me and you got a mutual friend too. You're at TSU with my guy Russ.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever been around somebody that works harder than him. I learned a lot from him and I don't tell him this enough. He did everything or anything that was asked of him, no matter what it was. If it was little, if it was big, he just did it. And you never heard him complain about it. Yeah. So I learned a lot from him as well.
So were you were at Lee with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got you. Cool.
So that's my guy, man. I love Russ.
Yeah, Russ is awesome, man. He works his tail off. So let's see, 05, was Lonnie Thompson at Cumberland?
LT, man. Yeah. I've got probably some stories I can't tell on the air being around LT, if you know LT, but I learned so much from that guy, man. I'd go sit in his office for hours during the day when I was there and just talk, not just basketball, but life with him. I was 22, 23 years old at the time. And his daughter, I think, was about that age too. So he had been through it with his family. And little Darius, who's now playing pro balls overseas, was about 10 years old, coming in the gym every day. It's like, this kid's going to be special.
That's crazy. So, I played AAU on Team Nashville with Darius.
Oh, you did?
And my dad and Lonnie, they would always, they would be one of the, few dads on the trips with us. And so they'd always hang out. Coach Thompson is awesome. Penny right now, I'm at Tennessee State with Penny. A lot of Penny was an assistant coach at Cumberland too for a little bit.
I think he came after I was gone.
I think it was like a year or two after you got there.
Because Coach Lewis was there when I was there, Jeremy.
Yeah, okay, got you.
He's the head coach now.
Okay, cool.
And Chris Hooper was there as well, I think. But and Malcolm Montgomery was there. But Coach LT, man, I can't say enough good things about him either.
He's an awesome dude. He knows the game of basketball for sure.
He's a passionate guy, man.
What did being a graduate assistant teach you? What's that life like?
Honestly, I go back to what I kind of learned from Russ. You're not too big or to do anything. Back then when I was doing GA, we didn't have Huddle, and I think you guys use Synergy now. So we had a VCR with 2 VHSs. I push play on one and record on the other to make the scouting tapes. So, a lot of hours spent doing that and laundry, balls, driving the 15-passenger van, going out. Our budget wasn't the best, so we didn't rent a car to drive to Illinois and recruit. I took the 15-passenger van and drove it to Illinois to recruit. And probably one of my favorite things I did, and I won't mention all the coaches' names, but we were at the JUCO tournament in Illinois. We had a friend, Greg Franklin, that coached in Illinois at that time, and there was a lot of Division I women's basketball coaches there, and they wanted to go out to eat, and it's probably midnight. And I'm the 23-year-old GA guy, like, what do I do here? So I end up driving them all in the 15-passenger van to like a Mexican restaurant at like 2:30 in the morning. I'm just the driver, just driving all these, some pretty big name Division I coaches in the back of this van. So there's some interesting times you learn being a GA, though. You'll do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Coach, I'm not trying to get your secret sauce to spill for Knox Catholic or anything. But I am interested. I haven't got to see you guys play a game yet. So what are you guys running right now?
We run, and I mean, it's no secret. I'm sure they've got some film on us. We run some dribble drive. We run a lot of different sets. And we do a lot of things just based off reads. We've got 6 seniors, so we've got a very experienced team that just knows how to play. So they've done a good job of adapting to. We've seen a lot of different defenses this year. So they do a pretty good job adapting to it. I'd say the dribble drive is the base of what we do. It's a more simplified version of it than most teams run, and that's okay. I think that fits us well. We're mostly known for our defense. You know, we'll win a game 32-26, and I'll see in the paper it says we stalled and held the ball. No, we didn't stall and hold the ball. We're just a defensive team, and we play at a slower pace most of the time. But we also have the capability to play. You know, we've played some teams that like to run, and we've ran with them. So I think that's one thing that's got us here is we've learned to play different styles throughout the year. You know, I've been telling the girls, you know, our coaching staff has the last few days. We've kind of seen everything at this point as far as defensively and different types of offenses to guard and how teams have guarded us. And I think at this point, you know, when there's 4 teams left, every team's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're excited about that. So there's nothing secret to what we run. Most teams have seen a lot of sets, a lot of dribble drive, and a lot of things based off reads. But it's nice when you have 6 seniors that kind of just know how to play.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are your principles for defense? I know a lot of people don't ask about defense because everyone just likes the cute thing about offense. But
right.
So are you guys gap team? Are you pressuring? Are you more like pack line defense? Like what's your strategy?
Well, and I'm going to be very open and honest about this. One of our coaches, Coach John Sneed, he's an assistant coach at Father Ryan. He's been kind of like the mastermind of our defense. He's been doing it for a long time. So I have learned so much from him in this year. I don't have enough time to take the notes. Like I need to sit down with him after the season is over and really start writing down the stuff that he teaches, because when I came into the job, it was tryouts, season, you know, let's go. But, you know, we play the gaps, you know, for the most part. We pressure the ball really well. And our kids are just bought into that. And they take so much pride into, you know, we can guard in different ways depending on our opponent. And I think a lot of that has to do with the kids just believing in what we're teaching them, one. But number two, they take so much pride. And no matter what your system is, it doesn't mean anything if your kids don't believe in it.
Absolutely.
So when we're playing gaps and we're pressuring, you know, this night we're pressuring these 2 kids and we're helping off these 2 kids, or, hey, they can all shoot it. We're not helping off the ball side. We're helping from the backside. With the team that we have being so, you know, senior-led, and we've got some good sophomores and juniors too, but when we change our plans for games like that, they're very good at adapting on the fly. So I wouldn't say we have like this one style. I think our principles are, you know, we got to stop the basketball first and foremost. We pride ourselves on charges. You know, I'm not sure there's a team that's taken more charges than us this season. That's something that our kids, they get fired up for a charge. We've had 3 games go down to the last 3 final second games, and we've hit shots. I think we get more about a charge than we've gotten hitting the shots to end those games. You know, our kids just take a lot of pride in that. And then also holding your opponent to 1 shot. We are real big at going and getting the ball, not just boxing out, but then after you box out, going and getting it. And our practices are really physical, and it scares me sometimes as a coach, wondering if somebody's going to get hurt. But it's at the same time, I don't want to tell them to not play hard, because the way that they practice, they've carried into games. So, you know, we have some principles, but at the same time, when you got a team that's just bought in like this, you can do a lot of different things defensively, and it's really nice to have.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a really gritty team. I mean, loose balls, rebounds. Like I just picture you guys flying around.
That's exactly what we do, man. We've got kids that just fly around. Our leading rebounder is probably about 5'8" or 5'9". She just goes after the ball and gets it. In our sub-state or regional game, whatever you want to call it, she had, I think, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, just everywhere. And she's about she's about 5'9". It had 5 assists. And this team, just nobody cares who does what. They don't care who scores or who gets the numbers. They just care that they win. And they are – gritty is a word that I've had a lot of coaches call and just say, hey, man, your girls are gritty and they're tough. You know, and that's something they take pride in. And it's just a blessing to be able to work with a team like that. Like, I'm so thankful for them.
Is that something you can instill? Like, is that something – have you done anything? Have you like put a chart on the board to keep up with whoever has the most charges? Because that's something Coach McNabb actually did when I was in high school. He had a charge board. And so it was between me, my brother, and Noah Mayberry. And so we would try to, like, compete who has the most charges. My brother would always get mad because I was playing more than my brother. And he was like, well, you're just playing more, so you have more opportunity.
It doesn't matter. Numbers are numbers. If you got the most charges, you got it. We don't keep a we don't keep a chart, but what we do is we go crazy. Like after a game or even in practice, if someone takes a charge, we stop practice and go crazy about it. We just let them know that kind of stuff's appreciated. Same thing with rebounding. If someone's killing on the rebounds, we'll stop practicing and pull them out, or we'll say, hey, somebody go box her out. She's gotten the last 5 or 6 rebounds, and somebody else wants to compete with her. Hey, she's got 4. We do a lot of things that are competitions. Almost everything we do, we find a way to keep count or make it a competition. And I think that kind of plays into that as well.
That's awesome.
I love making everything a competition. I think that's so important.
And when they get to the game, they're used to it.
Exactly.
They're used to competing. It's a different kind of, practicing game, but it's a competition.
Yeah.
So if you're used to competing every day in practice, when you get to the game, if the other team you're going against is not your teammates, you're going to want to get it even more. Well, I say that, but we compete just as hard against each other in practice sometimes.
And a lot of, sometimes I feel like some of these kids forget that it's okay to compete against their own teammates and go at them regardless of your relationship with. I mean, it's okay to go at your teammates.
And that's the perfect way to say it. Like that, we talk about that all the time. You can compete against somebody and after practice go ride in the car with your masks on, with everything going on now. But I mean, at the same time, you can compete against somebody and still be friends afterwards. We talk about it, at a coaching staff. We may have a disagreement on a play call or a way we're guarding somebody, and we talk about it, and then we have to move on. We tell the girls the same thing. When you come in here for this, 2 hours early in the season, but now we're down towards about an hour and a half every day.
Yeah.
Hour 45 at the most. But you can compete for that hour and a half, hour 45, and after practice still go out and have dinner together or call each other on the phone or whatever. And this team embodies that, man. Like I'll see 2 girls who went after it in practice, and then they come out of the locker room giggling and laughing and high-fiving. But you're right, not many teams do that. Sometimes you get in a competition in practice, and I'm not talking to that kid for the next 2 or 3 days, or she hit me with an elbow, or she dove on me. And this team doesn't do that. They don't take it personal. But we talk about that weekly of you got to compete. And after you compete, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the next thing. It's like if you make a mistake in the game, you got to go to the next play. Same thing in practice. If you have a tough competition or somebody gets you over in practice, it's the next thing after that. You got to move on.
Yeah. How do you get 6 seniors that you haven't coached all the way through high school, get them to buy in for basically, a year?
Yeah, no, and that was something I worried about when I first got the job. And, I think it was my first week. I had them come up at 6:30 in the morning and we had breakfast together and we just sat and talked. And I said, ask me anything you want to know about me, my personal life, my family, my coaching style. And I think building those relationships early, walking around. I think that one thing that was a huge benefit for me is there's a kid that's a senior now that was in our STARS program that had been around me for 4 years before I got the job. And I think that she kind of had talked to them about my coaching style and the way that I was. And I can't thank her enough because I think she was a huge part of that transition as well. When I got there, she had told them about me and how I do things and how I am. I can be goofy sometimes. I'm lighthearted. I joke around a lot. And it's probably a different style than some people are used to, but it doesn't mean it's not successful. Mm-hmm. And I think with all the coaches I've been around, you've learned that. Like, you got to be yourself.
Yeah.
You can't be somebody that like you take things from every coach that you've been around, right? Like there's some things from Coach McNabb I learned, or from Russ that I've learned, Coach Rowe that I've learned. I don't know if you guys know Kevin and Becky Stark. So your people that you're around, you learn things, but you still have to be yourself at the core. Mm-hmm. And you can be yourself and still be successful no matter what people say. People tell you, well, you got to coach this team this way and this team this way. Well, if you're not being yourself, it's not genuine. Mm-hmm. So I think from the first day that I met them, I said, hey, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to be. Mm-hmm. And they bought into it right away. And I think it helped them being so experienced, that it was easy for them to make the adjustment. Whereas if it's freshmen and sophomores coming in with a new coach, it may be a little tougher. So I think that it was a lot easier than I expected because of it being 6 seniors.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared or timid. They're scared to do that, to be themselves. And you're right. You can take a lot of things from coaches and implement certain things here and there, but while still being yourself in the overall,
I think you have to be yourself, man. If you're not being yourself, then who are you being?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
All right, Coach. So every single week I do 3 keys. I ask a coach that comes on the podcast, or I guess a player or a trainer. I ask them 3 keys that they can enlighten me on. It used to be me telling them, or I can't even say that anymore, Asa, because it was like the first 6 podcasts.
Yeah.
And we're on episode 26 now. But now I ask people that are smarter than I. Today, you are that person. So what are your 3 keys to transitioning into a new coaching role?
Ooh, 3 keys in the transition to a new coaching role. Number one is to build relationships right away. You got to let the kids know that you're there for them. They're not there for you. You're there for
Mm-hmm.
them, and you want to make sure you don't just talk about that, but you show it. And it's hard when you're being new to show it every day. You got to find ways. One thing that I do, and I got this from help me out, Emmanuel College, TJ Rosine.
Okay.
Writing a couple kids' name on your practice plan every day, and making sure you go through at practice that day, have a conversation with each one of those 2 or 3 kids that you put on your list. And by the time you get to week 4 or 5, you've talked to each kid 2 or 3 times. You've got to learn something about them, and they see that you care about them as well. So that's something I stole from him. But I think that the first key is building relationships. The second key I would think to say is, and I know we just talked about it, but don't try to be the previous coach that was there, or don't try to be somebody that you're not. You got to be yourself from day one. If it's different and there's adjustment period, it's okay. And luckily I come into a place where, Coach Larkin was there before me. He was an incredible basketball coach. He's an awesome guy. He's still teaching there. After we win a big game, he's probably the first person I get a text message from each time that's saying congratulations or good luck and things like that. But don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't try to be who was there before. Just be yourself, I would say, is the second key. And the third one, being new, what's the third key? Getting to know the not just your players, but the administration and everybody at school. I'm thankful for this opportunity that Coach Mullins gave me, and I'm the associate athletic director as well as coaching. But it's important to get to know the teachers, get to know the trainers, get to know the principal, get to know everybody in administration in your school. I think it's important to get to know those people when you're new, to know who to go to when things come up. Because when you're new and something comes up at the school about academics or about something else, you need to know who to go to. And the only way you can do that, and I'm at a place where when I first got the job, a lot of people came and introduced themselves to me, and they were so friendly. But I think that's not the case everywhere. Sometimes you got to go out there and find those people. And I think when I first got the job, I tried to walk around school between classes and things like that and get to know kids that weren't basketball players as well. I think that's important too, because you want to have an impact on kids, but not just the 12 or 15 kids you see every day. Or in our case, I think we had 26 kids in our program this year. But you want to get to know the boys basketball players, football players, the band kids, the art kids. And the one thing that's cool about Father Ryan is every day we have a mentor group. And it's 20 kids that I wouldn't see if I didn't have that mentor group every day. And I see these kids every single day. And 2 of them are in the basketball program. So it's 18 kids I would never see probably if they didn't have that. So I think getting to know people outside of your program is important as well.
I think something that you didn't say, but obviously if you have been around Coach McLeod or listening to this podcast right now, is Coach McLeod is super intentional. And it shows by the fact that you write 2 names down on your practice plan in order to talk to somebody every single day. It shows that you walked around campus just so you weren't only hanging out around the basketball team. Tell me a little bit about intentionality. It might be uncomfortable a little bit because it is who you, but maybe not, because that is who you are. I feel like, because every single time I've had a conversation with you, you've been very intentional about it.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. And I've learned this from a lot of coaches, and I'm trying to think. That is a tough question to ask. And I'll kind of turn it a little.
Tell me
like
how
this.
Great you are.
I'm nothing special. I promise you that. I'm a product of a great environment and being around awesome people. And I'll bring back 2 guys we talked about. Lance and Coach McNatt too. I thought I was really good at building relationships with kids, and then you get around a guy like Coach McNatt, who makes the 12th player on the bench feel as important as the first player. And you played for him. You know how he is. Every kid in that program, no matter how much he gets on them or doesn't get on them, they feel like they are cared about and loved. And I just, from being around so many coaches and not always good, right? Like I've seen the other side of that where kids 10 through 12 feel like they're not important to the program. They feel like, why am I here? Coach doesn't pay attention to me. Coach doesn't care about me. And seeing both sides of that, I just came to a point where I realized it is important, because after the basketball is going to stop bouncing one day.
Absolutely.
And then what's left? Is it going to be, well, he only cared about me because I could score 15 points a game? Or is it going to be, hey, I've got family issues going on. He's somebody I would reach out to and talk to about things like that. And that goes for any kid on the bench. So I just think it's important to be that way, because it's, I don't know, like you kind of said, it's who I am, but I think it's just a product of the people that I've been around, and my parents always instilled it in me of doing what's right and being trustworthy and being who you are. I've got a great family. My wife, and I've got a 5-year-old little girl and
I was
a
gonna ask you
1-year-old
about her.
son. Yeah.
I didn't know about a 1-year-old. So when?
He was born on January 7th. He was born on the same day as I had a game last year.
Holy
January
cow.
7th. So he was born on a game day. So I missed that game, which happened to be against Providence, who won the state championship the year before. So I think my son was looking out for me that night. So, but yeah, I got a 1-year-old and then my 5-year-old little girl who is full of energy. It's funny being a guy. You always want a boy first, right? I know I did. Like I want a boy, I want a boy, I want a boy. But I am so thankful that I had a girl first because she changed me in ways I needed to change, made me a more patient person. And I think she's made me a better coach when it comes to coaching as well because of having to deal, she's just, I don't know, my kids and my wife are just awesome. The way that they support what I do, like this week, for example, tonight was the only night that I got to see my son. I had tryouts Monday night. I had tryouts Tuesday night. Tonight I'm home. I got tryouts tomorrow night, and then we play Friday. And that's the hardest part of this job, but
absolutely.
I get home and I've never heard from my wife, well, you're gone this and this and that. She's just like a superhero, honestly.
I was about to
just
say,
so supportive.
wives of coaches are superheroes.
They are the biggest heroes in the world. I mean, now being in the college world, I was single when I was coaching college, but you're on the road recruiting a lot. Mm-hmm. You're playing in Georgia one night and Florida the next night, like you're gone all the time. But the fact that she just is always supportive, she's leaving school early on Friday to come to the game, and she's getting my daughter out of school to come to the game. So it's just, that's the backbone of who I am, is my family, my parents, grandparents, and my wife and kids too.
That's awesome, Coach.
So
before Asa asks his question, we're not going to try to hold you too much longer because we're going to let you go see your son. But anyway.
He's asleep. They're asleep.
I was going to say, just, so you didn't have to, I guess, the birth of your son, you didn't have to give your cell phone, you didn't have a game. You didn't have to give your cell phone to your assistant coach. Like, hey, if my wife calls, like, I got to dip. I got to go.
No, actually, I did have somebody there streaming it for me, so I was watching it. He was born at about, trying to think, Callie was born at 12 something. So he was born around 7 o'clock. He was born early in the morning. So it was about 12 hours after he was born, but I had it on the iPad watching the whole game. I made sure I watched it. So I was still watching it. And then when something came up, I kind of hide it down or put my shirt over it like I wasn't watching it, but I was watching it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So where does she go to school?
My daughter, she goes to our daycare here in Spring Hill that our son goes to actually has a kindergarten. So they're at the same place, which is really nice because, again, when I'm in season, my wife's having to pick them up almost every day. So it's nice to have them at the same place. I know what we're going to do next year when she gets to first grade, but that's where she's at right now.
Do we want to do some rapid fire real quick? You want to do some rapid fire questions?
Let's go.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll do them. All right. Okay. So, you ever been kicked out of a game?
I have not been kicked out of a game. I was with Coach McNatt when he got kicked out of his, though. I heard him talking about it on his. Listen, when he got kicked out at Santa Fe, I was like, all right, I got to go check on him. But I was kind of nervous to go checking on him. I walked back there, and I hope this doesn't get him in trouble. He has somebody FaceTiming him in the game. He's back there watching it the whole time.
I've always wondered how that works. Like, I would, if you could, I've always wondered how.
Because you would be a mess. Like, I would be so stressed.
I'd have to.
He had it on FaceTime, and in his defense, he did not. All he did was clap that night. He was clapping for his team, and I don't know what happened because I was sitting right behind his bench when it happened. But no, I've not been kicked out of a game. I have not got a technical coach in high school basketball.
Oh,
just AAU.
Yet. Yeah, I did get one coaching AAU one time. I did. I said something about a travel, and the official demonstrated the move, and I said, "See, you just took 3 steps. That was a travel." And he didn't like that too much.
Oh my gosh! Have you ever dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
A basketball? No.
A tennis ball.
Tennis ball. Yeah.
Tennis ball. Okay.
But I'm 5'8.5". I am tiny. So a tennis ball. I could never palm the basketball. I'd always have my friends throw it up, and I'd try to. And I can never do it.
Leave your best player in with 2 fouls in the first half.
If we're down 8 or less, no. If it gets to double digits, I throw her back in there.
Okay.
I like it.
Go for the tie. Go for the win.
Honestly, I go for the win almost all the time. With a second option, I try to say first available shot, but usually I'm going for the win.
I like it. Suits or sweats on the sideline?
Sweats all day long. I mean, I don't wear them, but I would prefer to wear them all the time.
Mm-hmm. early morning practice or evening or night practice?
Early morning. Get me there at 6:30. Let's get it in and get it out. But
Asa, have we had a late night practice yet?
I don't think we have.
I just think that's not hardwired in our DNA.
Yeah.
And
as coaches.
And I think as players, when I was in school, we wanted to go before school and shoot. And I'm sure I know you did the same. So it's just why not? Let's get it done and go home after school.
I hear you.
If you could not coach basketball, what would you be doing?
I think I would try to be a sports broadcaster. I did an internship when I was in college at ESPN Radio. And
how was that?
That's my degree. Oh, it was awesome. I loved it. My degree's in telecommunications, so I think I would try to be in sports broadcasting or sports media somehow.
Do you play golf?
I do. I play. I'm not saying I'm good at it.
Can you break 100?
Probably like once a year.
Okay.
I'm not good
all
at
right,
all.
so we're in the
and
same
I love
boat.
to play. Like it's so much fun, but I hate playing things I'm not good at.
Oh, and golf.
So I keep playing.
Yeah.
I wish it was cheaper though. Good Lord.
I know.
Gosh.
It is. It is not it's not the cheapest thing to play. Should every team make the conference tournament?
Yes, I absolutely 100% think that every team should make conference tournament, whatever level you are at. I think every team should have a chance. Your season should not end without you having a chance. And plus, you never know if a team had somebody hurt for 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
They deserve a chance if that player comes back, especially right now with COVID, right? Someone misses 2 weeks and it messes up your seed. I think every kid at every level deserves a chance in a tournament.
I like that.
I like that COVID explanation too.
I mean,
I never even thought about that.
There's teams that have missed players for games this year that probably got 3rd or 4th place that could have got 1st or 2nd if they had their whole team. I know one team played a game with soccer players.
Oh, wow.
To not forfeit. They had 4 basketball players and 5 or 6 soccer players.
Oh,
so that could cost them a game or 2, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Wow.
I think everybody deserves a chance to play.
I like that. All right, last one. LeBron or Jordan?
I can't say Kobe, can I?
You can say Kobe.
You can.
Listen, when I was a senior, LeBron's team won state, and they were freshmen. All those kids were freshmen. The coach's son, Drew Joyce, came in and hit the like 6 threes or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Like Magic Johnson was my favorite player growing up. Still am a diehard Lakers fan. So I like him because he's on the Lakers, but I'm still gonna say Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say MJ. There
was
was nothing
MJ
like
over
watching
Kobe
him.
for you?
Kobe's my favorite 2 players of all time are Magic and Kobe, but I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player that I've ever seen.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it's close. Kobe's probably the closest.
You're gonna upset Asa. You're gonna upset Asa.
Who's your guy? You LeBron guy?
I'm a LeBron guy.
He goes wherever LeBron goes.
Look, I think everything that Jordan embodied was great. It was everything that he embodied was great. I just happen to think that LeBron is the best at playing basketball that I've seen. And that's my stand. Everything that Jordan embodies was the greatest.
If I had to pick one to play with, it'd be LeBron. I mean, I don't know who you'd rather play with than that guy. He makes everybody around him better.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good team. I've never heard somebody not play with him and say good things about him, except for maybe Kyrie. But everybody else that's ever played with him just talks about how great of a teammate he is, how much he cares about them. I like his style, the way he plays. I mean, I think you always I hate when people get on him for the end of the game when he passes. He made the right basketball play. He got double teamed and threw it to a guy who's shooting 40% from 3 who was wide open. And you're going to get on him for making that play. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I've seen a higher IQ basketball player than him ever.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that goes unnoticed is like the end of the game stuff. When a lot of people you'll see at the end of the game, they'll just take the pull-up jump shot or the pull-up 3. LeBron will still get to the rack.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like against the Pacers when he had that like catch and go from the top of the key and just won it with a layup.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to win. It doesn't have to be flashy.
It doesn't have to be some fadeaway over 2 guys. And if he gets doubled, he makes the right play. Well, heck, he's getting tripled sometimes, and he makes the right play. I thought last year in the bubble, man, he was on a mission. He was getting to the rim against whoever they put Adebayo on, they put Jimmy Butler on. It didn't matter. That dude was on a mission. When he gets like that, he's unstoppable.
That's a great – what do you want him to dribble into a trap and then shoot the basketball?
Over 3 different guys when Anthony Davis is wide open for the alley-oop, or when KCP or whoever, Caruso, somebody's just standing there wide open and he makes the right basketball play. Like, there's nothing wrong with making the right play, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Well, Ace, anything else?
That's all we got for the rapid fire questions. I appreciate it, Coach.
Coach McLeod, where can they find you on Twitter and Instagram?
I am at Tony McLeod on both, TonyMcleod. Keep it consistent. Got my usernames in early on both, but I'm at Tony McLeod on both Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, you can find Asa not on Twitter, still hacked. You can find him on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nate5_Moran. You can find us on Twitter at MindOfACoach1, on Instagram at MindOfACoach. We thank you for coming on this week, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.